Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Hello, I'm Dan Hollifield. I'm sorry I don't appear at my best tonight, but I am still just a bit under the weather, but I am doing my best to stay caught up with everything that I need to stay caught up with. All right. If you didn't watch Stupid O'Clock tonight, go watch Stupid O'Clock tomorrow after tonight's show. Um, when you have time, okay? Just whenever you have time, because it was fun. It was fun. We spent a lot of time going down an internet rabbit hole searching for a voiceover from a popular show that once we found what we were looking for, it wasn't quite what we were looking for, but it turned out to be okay. It's okay. Um, with me tonight, we got Dawn, we got Rich, and we
Where?
got Chris.
Hello.
And
Oh, Josh.
oh, hey Josh. I haven't even switched over to comments yet. Trying to get off the videos here. Woof. Everyone seems to have had a day today. Not exactly good, not exactly bad. And
Pretty good day.
well,
Everybody else had a craptastic day, but I had a pretty good day.
Mine was
okay.
decent.
Well,
Like I said, I did 3 fantasy football drafts today. I got another big one tomorrow. I did get some mowing done, so it wasn't complete leisure and fun. But I got it done. That's the important thing.
yes.
Which means I won't have to mow next weekend, or I shouldn't have to mow next weekend. And I'm not planning on mowing next weekend, even if it needs it.
I was going to say, as you now get like 3 days straight rain.
And it goes.
Yeah, you've seen
Well,
my back.
you know what?
And then it'll grow faster than okra.
As long as it doesn't grow faster than kudzu, I don't care.
Yeah, well,
Chris, I heard that. Fuck you.
Was that you or me, Chris?
No.
Because I think it was probably both of them.
Actually, I was not going to say that. I was going to say, "Tough titty," said the kitty, but the milk sure was sweet.
Oh dear.
I can't tell you the reply to that one.
The what?
I said I can't tell you the reply to that one because it involves a joke that's dirty.
We'll save it for Friday.
If I make it on. Wait a minute. Next Friday's a possibility.
Well, yeah. Every Friday's a possibility.
Really? I'm not working next Friday.
Hey.
Friday, I get off early.
Okay.
All right, folks. Thank you for
They
coming
have a
tonight, or however you've reacted.
They have assistants for that, Rich.
It just writes itself, folks. I couldn't script things any better if I tried.
I did not
I
say
couldn't
anything.
resist. That one was just laid up on a silver
No, that has nothing to do with anything. We're what? Did you screenshot?
No, Rich,
those
she said
pictures
you
from
got
last
off
night, right?
early. Dawn's Tacos late.
Suddenly, I find myself in the position of being in charge, and I'm going, whose idea was this?
Children. No, Rich, did you? Were you gone?
Hey,
Wait.
I've got him.
I'm
I've got to
supposed to be the
mature to be a child.
responsible one.
Wait, okay, who was all in there last night when Joey decided he was going to do the picture?
Apparently,
My face on a different picture.
I'm
think I was
getting
the
a
first one
I'm
he
getting a
sent that to.
picture, but yeah, I was there. I was one of the last people to clock
And
out.
then he was like, "Hey, Rich, should I send this to Carl?" And that's when I started just going,
Yeah.
I said, if you're going to do it, at least get a decent ass picture of me. And he said, every time I tried to screenshot you, you moved your head. So I'm like, well, if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Oh, Lord. That's what they say. That's what some of them say, anyway.
Not going there.
That was the green room, so there is no film at 11 on that one.
You
No.
think not? Oh, my sweet summer child.
It's one of those things you had to be there.
or so you think.
Oh, I've got like 3 different programs that can
Ooh.
record live off screen that don't involve StreamYard. So
The tables
you
have
did it.
turned.
I
So you
could.
didn't-
I
Does
don't.
that mean there's
I
an
don't.
evil picture somewhere?
I don't, because that would be evil, and I'm trying to improve my image.
Not around these people.
My publicist says I should stop doing the evil stuff. You know.
Right.
Oh yeah, you had some good news though. Writing wise,
Yes.
didn't you?
Yes, I do. The
Dan the man.
the second edition of Tales from the Marinebrium Volume 1 is finished editing, and the cover art is done, and it is all with the publisher right now. awaiting its turn for,
Release.
and this has never been more appropriate, release upon an unsuspecting world.
Hmm.
Donna's gonna be sad she missed it.
Well, go away, Firefly.
You can always
Um,
watch the replay.
Yep. The original came out in 2014 by a publisher who is no longer in business. Um, they did me right at the time, and they decided that they would rather do podcasts than do publishing, so they ceased. And Three Ravens has gone, okay, we'll take that. Thank you very much. You think you can spell this stuff correctly this time? I go, I'll try. And gave me an editor who was very fun to work with.
I
And
spelled it
actually,
exactly how it's supposed to be spelled. These are foreign worlds, after all.
it wasn't the alien names that were misspelled; it was the English that really had to be corrected because
But objective.
I'm dyslexic and I type funny and in a hurry. So yeah, I'm really slow at writing a story, but I type fast.
Mhm.
Figured that one out. In any case, everything's done. I turned it all over to the publisher. Everyone's working on stuff as fast as they can. So, um, Tales from the Marinebrium Volume 1 will be released upon an unsuspecting world soon. And Volume 1, as I pointed out the other day, implies that there will be a Volume 2. And several of those stories are already done.
Nice.
I do not have anywhere near enough for a whole book's worth, but I'm working on it. I'm also trying to finish up the fantasy novel, The Cat and the Crow, based on an internet meme of a crow walking down the road behind a cat. Hey, that meme was all it took. Somebody said, hey, yeah, there are witches familiars and they got to go find her. And I go, okay, challenge accepted. So I've got an entire story of that.
Nice.
The world building has been impressive. I've come up with a whole new thrice post-apocalyptic world. So
Okay.
it's already been destroyed 3 times and the characters are around now. Magic works. Mythology works. Animals talk. And let's just say it's a whole lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun. I cannot wait until somebody actually reads this and they go,
That sounds like fun.
sure, yay. Wait till you get a chance to read it. I mean, seriously. It's the basic fantasy quest story. A couple of people start off, they got something they want to do, they meet people along the way, the party gets bigger, the party gets bigger, the party gets bigger, the bad guys show up, or some of the bad guys' underlings show up. Small fights here and there. Somebody's going to make a damn recipe book out of some of it. I mean, every time I'm stumped for the next thing for them to do, they pull over to the side of the road and have a feast. I don't know. Maybe
Oh.
that's a bad thing, but
Damn it, Dan. Like I don't have enough projects. That I now have a mental image of say hello to my little friend. Stories from the familiar's point of view.
Yes, exactly. But that was the thing. It was just this meme with a photograph on YouTube, and people are going, "Okay, now somebody got to write this." Challenge accepted. Now, the biggest problem has been trying to not kill off one of the major characters, because I know I will be burned in effigy all over the world if I do what story logic requires me to do.
Hey, if you're burned in effigy, it's all well and good, as long as they don't try to burn you in real life.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. Sympathetic magic is a thing. But I'm trying to figure out how I can do this, and if they have to die, they have to die. I'm sorry. And if I save their life after they die, that's a cop-out and nobody will like the story. So while you're reading it, don't get too attached. That's all I'm saying. I have killed off
I should
characters
read it
before.
because I'll be upset. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you and anybody else that reads it. Yeah. I'm upset and I'm writing it.
You'll just get random messages from me. Damn you! Bleep, 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 bleep. And you'd be like, yes, I agree.
Yes, I agree. That's why Steven Spielberg has bought the movie rights. No, Steven Spielberg has not bought the movie rights. People, don't jump the gun. Nobody's seen it to buy any rights whatsoever yet.
I was just going to say, if you got him to pay for it, kudos to you, because he's definitely got the money for it.
Well, it would have to be CGI or even straight anime, because it is fantasy and there's no other way to do all this stuff.
I'm sure something could be arranged with Pixar or somebody.
Yeah.
Especially if you end up with the possible inroad that
yes,
you might end up.
I'm well aware of that. Yes, but I'd like for the story to be out before she graduates. So. Not going to happen.
The story comes out before she graduates doesn't mean that it can't be adapted, 5-10 years down the road too.
Mm-hmm. It's really interesting the way it's so ordinary on the one hand and traditional fantasy on the other. Without a first reader so far, it's really hard to describe because I don't have a first reader's viewpoint. I've just got my own viewpoint, and I think it's pretty cool. But somebody else could tell me that I had my head in the clouds and it didn't work. So. We shall see once it's finished. The biggest problem is how to give it a meaningful big bad. I have pursued several different directions on that, and I am unsatisfied with all of them. So I'm just going to have to keep plowing ahead and find something that works.
You might have to do a slight combination of some of them.
Well, that too, yeah. But it's just
because on its own, none of them are sufficiently compelling enough for you to want to continue with. But perhaps if you mix some of the aspects, it could.
Well, there's no saying that there can't be a couple of underbosses that have to be defeated before the big bad shows up.
Yeah.
But I'm just about ready for him to meet the big bad and have the throwdown.
Yeah.
In which case, it's not going to be a novel. It's going to be a novelette or a
Mm.
novella. It's not going to be 100,000 words. It'd be lucky if it's 50,000.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Well, I'm doing what I can. Um, I have been going through some, well, not really health problems, but just getting depressed over things that really don't mean anything. But it took me a long time to work through it, and now that I've worked through it and back
Yeah.
on the road again, uh, picking up steam is taking a little while. So, folks that do suffer from clinical depression and bull their way through it and come out the other side with something viable, you have my utmost admiration because what I have is situational depression,
What is this?
and it's very variable. It's up and down. It's rapid cycling. It's all this. It's not that I've got this biochemical thing going on. It's stuff happens that I don't know how to deal with. And then I have to figure out how to deal with it. And then I've got to get back in the groove to get everything on track again. Uh, I'm sure that sounded entirely smug, but it's not meant to be. Um, my wife suffers from actual depression, and she's doing a hell of a lot better than I am most of the time.
Depression is depression, whether it is something that it's like pain. You know, it's just because yours isn't a biochemical reaction in your body doesn't make it any less devastating to what you're trying to do.
Well, I'm not trying to make light of it, but I'm not trying to make light of anybody else's either, because I know a lot of folks have it a whole lot worse than I ever did. You know, I'm just, put one foot in front of the other and keep going as best as I can. And then everybody else, I do believe, is in the same path. But,
And both, yeah.
well, I didn't want to say boat because that slow boat to Valhalla is still there needing to be written, and it's not mine to write. So I might be able to contribute a character voice or two, but that's somebody else's baby. Now I'm looking forward to reading that too when all is said and done.
Yeah, I ended up because the way everyone was talking about it made me think of the Jimmy Buffett song "Slow Boat to China."
Yeah, well, I think that was one of the inspirations.
So writing a little parody piece, "Winged Horse to Valhalla," to the tune of "Slow Boat to China." But then again, Jimmy Buffett is one of my favorite performers.
You do realize that's a 1930s, 1940s song, "Slow Boat to China," or it might be 50s. I'm not sure, but it's not a brand new thing that Jimmy Buffett. He might have done his own version of it, But then again, he might have adapted the existing thing that was done in a couple of movies from back in the day, back in the black and white days of classic movies. But basically, it's I'd like to get you on a slow road to China.
Possibly. But
Well
that's one
done,
of his songs that I really, really love.
Well, now that I've monopolized the conversation for long enough, don't everybody jump in at once. Just pick your time and
Sorry,
cowabunga.
I had to figure out what was going on with my laptop. It wasn't charging. And anyway, I got the issue resolved. So
All right.
It's great to plug it in.
no, it was plugged in. It's just the power strip was acting up. I've got it fixed now. So
Hey, I've had that before. It's plugged in. Is what it's plugged into plugged in? Yeah. Well, has the limit switch broke or try plugging it into another thing that plugs in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That worked.
when I worked at the call center, I had somebody call to me their TV when it wouldn't turn on. And I was like, okay, do you have it plugged in? Yeah. Plugged into the wall or power strip? Power strip. Do you have anything else plugged into that power strip that turned on and running? Hold on. He goes and looks and he goes, power strip wasn't turned on. I can't get the remote to work. Batteries? Okay, well, you do the, well, sometimes the batteries, they can get drained in transit, blah, blah, blah. Do you have another set of batteries you can put in there? Yeah, I put batteries in this thing.
some folks don't get it.
Supervisor. Yeah, he has to talk to my supervisor.
My cup holder's broke.
My sister today, before all the hornets with my my dogs, she came out of Mom and Dad's bedroom with what looked like a pair of sunglasses. Would you or Misty wear something like this? I look at the side, says Sharp. I'm like, these are the 3D glasses to the 3D TV that you gave us. That was a 3D TV? Yeah, I told you that at the time. You just didn't listen. So she was kicking herself in the ass for that. I mean, it doesn't really do any good without a 3D Blu-ray player.
Yeah.
But it's actually sitting in the storage unit because Crow's like, I only have one eye that works. Why do I need a 3D TV? Because I'm not going to be able to see 3D on it. So I'm like, all right.
I'm actually looking forward to meeting Crow at a future Hallowcon. They sound like a very interesting person.
Yeah.
Think of a slightly shorter, non-binary teenage me, and you damn near nailed Crow.
Again, we want to meet Crow.
I wouldn't have put it exactly in those terms.
That has interesting possibilities.
Chris, behave yourself.
No, I'm just talking about the clever things that can be said by your progeny.
So when Crow was in 5th grade, they were in robotics club, and we got to go down to Indianapolis for state semifinals. So I'm sitting there waiting right outside the ladies' bathroom for Misty to get out. She would lose me and get out how the worst sense of direction ever. So I was talking to this one kid, and yeah, I'm like, just so you know, I'm not some weirdo, just whatever. I'm Crow's dad, or well, back then they were still going by the birth name, and I used their birth name. And the kid's like, I know. So, a couple days later, we're coming back again, town, and we're talking in the car, and I was telling Crow how I met one of their friends and had the conversation, and I made some remark like, you're a way more beautiful child than I should have been able to make. And Crow's like, I know. I almost wrecked the car because I was driving. Like, what did you just say?
Kids
but
the hardest things.
they have,
God bless you, Art Linkletter.
and they weren't even trying to diss me. They just weren't thinking of it in that way. But Crow speaks sarcasm very fluently. Go figure, they're my kid.
When Crow gets of age, Crow will have to join us in some of these rooms.
But yeah, it's Crow will. So one of the running gags in the house is I keep calling Misty a pervert, and Bucky is very happy to display his little friend to the world. So I'll sit there and I'll hold Bucky in such a way that I'm like, hey, Misty. And she'll look and she'll just be like staring right at it. And I'll be like, you pervert. How dare you objectify our dog that way?
I hope she smacks you once in a while when you do that shit.
Every once in a while, I can get her to smack me. Usually, she's afraid of hurting me. The thing is,
you're a delicate little farm.
From here to my wrist, in both arms, between my shoulders and my wrist, I have very little feeling. So, if she hit me, it wouldn't hurt.
I started saying you probably enjoy it.
Well, actually, I try to get her to punch me right between the shoulder blades as hard as she can, because I've been carrying a knot there since I was younger than Crow. And I used to be able to piss my mom off, and she would break a broom over my back. But the thing is, when she was breaking the broom over my back, she'd go right over that point, and I would actually have better movement, and I would be in less pain afterwards. So I would purposely put my mom on so she would break brooms over that spot, so that I would have the relief I need. Because again, like I said, I've been carrying a knot there for so long. And my mom never caught on to the fact until I was in like my 40s, and I admitted that to her, and she's like, "What?" Um, but
It's like acupuncture, Mom. You knew exactly what to hit and when. I just had to supply the when.
yeah, and all my friends are like, "Oh, you're being so abused." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. It's actually giving me relief. It's not like she's just beating me until I can't walk.
It's
She takes the
chiropractic.
broom, she swings it once, it breaks, and then she just MFs me for an hour." Um, and like I
And then
said,
she tells you to go
there
buy her a
was
new damn
literally
broom.
no pain involved. Well, it's also my mom's fault for buying $1.99 brooms.
Well, if she knew she was going to break him over you every other week, they want to spend more.
She's broken 2 oak brooms over my back too.
To what?
Those are 2 oak brooms,
Yeah.
Oh,
actual oak handles. Broke
Yeah,
2
I
of those
guess
over my back.
felt best.
I actually felt those. Still didn't hurt. But the thing is, it would just piss Mom off worse because she'd break the broom over my back and I would just start laughing at her.
yeah. Usually, if you're being punished and you just laugh, parents
I was
will not enjoy that.
I was a very intelligent child. I just wasn't a very bright child.
It's sort of like that joke. I had the knowledge, I just didn't have the ability.
Yes.
Mm,
I know I have the right to remain silent. I just don't have the ability.
yeah.
And the thing
There,
is, it
there,
was her mom's fault that I had that mentality in that mouth.
there was a time in my life where I had to learn how to do facial expressions again, so that my
Mm.
father didn't get upset that I didn't react to being scolded.
Yeah.
Because I had gone so far down the don't let the bullies know what's going on
Mm-hmm.
inside your head path at school that it bled over to home life when I wasn't getting bullied. I was
Yeah.
getting legitimately scolded for stuff I had done wrong, but I wasn't reacting in a predictable human manner.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to do facial expressions again under controlled circumstances. That sounds so.
Dang. Come.
Yeah, exactly. But um, when you had the history of being bullied away from the house that I had, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the impassiveness carried over back to home, which was not the right place for it. Um, I tend to piss bullies off because they either get nothing or they get something they weren't expecting. And it takes a lot to get to that something they weren't expecting point. I wouldn't classify my dad as a bully or my mom either. It's just stuff I learned I had to do to survive at school. Unfortunately, I took home with me. defense mechanisms are very, very strange.
Yes. But
Uh,
they're necessary sometimes to deal with.
in certain circumstances, they are very, very necessary. But you learn them well enough, and you use them when they're not necessary, or you can't escape from them when they're not necessary. And it's I don't know. If I hadn't had to learn that stuff and it hadn't been necessary, I probably would have had a more enjoyable set of teenage years. But I survived, so everything happened the way it needed to happen, and got out of it, and you know, learned to be much more expressive. Uh, After the defense mechanism was no longer necessary. So uh, then I went to the factory, and now I've got to learn how to dial down the other defense mechanism of colorful colloquialisms in my speech. So that makes me very popular. Chris, go ahead. Yeah. Um, uh,
Yeah, that's why I reacted the way I did when I saw that. So, but I'm not going to mention it because I want to make sure the people that need to know about it find out about it first. Because some people tend to make announcements
so
like
that
that before word gets out to who all needs to hear it first.
Yes, and you're gonna have to explain to me who that is, and if you want to do it in private chat, that's fine.
Yeah,
It's not a name I'm familiar with. Probably should be, but I have my moments when I concentrate on other things more than I should. Okay. Well, I believe this constitutes a moment of silence. So,
yeah. Um,
I reckon a couple pieces.
what was that, Rich? You went all robot voice on us.
I recognize a couple of those pieces. In fact, actually, one of those pieces, some people have accused you of being the model for.
Oh no, not him.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hang on just a second. I'm going to have to go to another room and confirm. Uh, I shall return shortly.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it's one of those. There's the name sounded familiar, but I couldn't place it.
Yeah.
So when I did a search, I'm like, okay, go look at that, and then there's a couple of pieces in there that I recognize, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wasn't really up to date on all their work.
Yeah.
It's not a good.
You're roboted on my end.
Yeah.
I said it's not been a good week for talent.
No,
Oh,
it's not. But yeah, I just know sometimes some folks that feel an affinity for someone have a tendency to post before all the family members and relatives that need to hear it first.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I'm wanting to make sure that that if it was posted a little bit too early, that I don't further the signal until the appropriate time.
yeah.
Because I know some people mean well. They're like, "Oh man, this is in but you got to make sure that the people who really
Yes,
matter find out first.
that was indeed the fella. Ah,
So, like I said, I don't want to boost the signal until I know the people that needed to hear it first have heard it.
yep.
And I'm not berating the person that did it, but I know how enthusiastic and passionate they get about things. And sometimes you boost the signal before it needs boosting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although when I did a search, it already had the announcement.
Okay. Well,
So,
it's
yep,
probably safe to go then.
But
I'm very
it's a
glad that I got the chance to meet him. And the
Very
piece of
talented guy.
artwork that we bought, yeah, yeah, the very, very talented guy. The piece of artwork that we bought, he was quite astounded at the resemblance
Hmm.
between me and what he had come up with out of his imagination.
Yep.
Uh, Stephanie Osborne noticed it and brought it to our attention, and we went up and talked to him, and we bought a print. And yeah, uh, I'm gonna have to break it to Lindsay tomorrow.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll wait till she gets home from church.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I've spoken to him. I think I have one of his pieces of art as well. This amazing artist. Very down to earth. Um, he could have the biggest ego in the world, and he doesn't seem like he chose it because he's very down to earth. And Lord knows he's got enough talent where he. I totally get it if he did have a huge ego.
It would be totally deserved, yes, indeed.
Now, yeah, I forgot to look at his.
Well, Carl's going to watch this tomorrow and wonder what all the dead air is about, but
Yeah.
can't be helped, and there's no blame involved.
Yeah.
We just can't go before an official announcement. So
Yeah.
let's just
With the
say,
week that it's been and the day that it's been, it's hard to be
Jovial.
on.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
yep.
go check on your babies real quick.
I did before the show, and they're doing much better actually.
Sorry, I was ordering you around, but you know how I am about it.
Well, it wasn't posted on
That's
his official.
one of the reasons I was later popping in today was during show change. I was checking on them, and they're still a little sluggish walking around, but they're up. They're walking around. Bella actually followed me in the kitchen, which tells me she's interested in food. Because I walked in the kitchen and she's kind of like, "Daddy, you gonna drop something for me?" So when the show's over, I'm going to see if I can get them to take the doggy aspirin and the Benadryl knockoff.
Which can't hurt.
Did you
I
check
mean,
by
seriously.
chance, just to make sure, and I'm just being paranoid on this, with the what the dosage would be for their size for the Zizol?
They were saying 2 milligrams per pound or something like that, and the pills are only 5 milligrams. So it's well below, because we don't happen to have a whole hell of a lot of it. We're going to pick up some actual Benadryl, well, equate Benadryl, but Benadryl.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we give the German Shepherd when it's, will you please chill, dog, time.
Although
And she's almost 100 pounds, so
I got to look through Crow's old medicine. One of the things that the psych doctor was prescribing them was an antihistamine. But when I was looking up the antihistamine, it was actually saying that it's one that's safe for dogs. Because all the medication that comes in the house, we check to see what the side effects are if a dog gets a pill that we drop, so
yes.
that we know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
That's very responsible of you. Thank you.
Well, especially when we've got neurological issues and we're blocking pills to begin with. So we want to be sure that nothing's going to happen. So if I can find Crow's old medicine, maybe break one of those suckers in half and
Spread it around.
let them have that if they take.
Yep.
But Bucky's a lazy shit to begin with. Very often he'll just lay in one of the doggy beds that we've got sitting over by the wall, and he'll just watch us as we're walking through and stuff like that. And earlier he was kind of just tucked into himself, like not wanting to pay attention to anything going on around. But when I went out at show change, he's sitting there, he's tracking me the entire time. He's just being a lazy shit and not wanting to get out of the actual bed.
Oh,
So he's acting
Um,
more like you.
So
Okay,
yeah, they're
apparently Arlene Sorkin passed away, and she was the one that voiced the animated Harley Quinn.
Oh,
I did know that. I heard that one today too. I knew there was another one. I couldn't remember who you said that.
She also was with John DeLancey as one of the zaniest couples ever on daytime television. She was quiet.
oh Lord, yes. I remember that quite well because I actually wound up watching that, and I'm going, ah, when John
They were
Delancey
so
showed up.
much fun.
Oh, Lord, yes.
My grandmother made me watch that, so I didn't have any choice in that.
I take it they were on a daytime soap.
Yes, it was either Days of Our Lives or Another World. I think it was Days of Our Lives. And she was only 67.
These are the days of our lives.
Yeah, Willow posted that earlier, along with Bob Barker passing away.
Yeah, the two wrestlers passed away.
Bob Barker passed away?
Yep,
Yeah.
Bob
Holy
Barker passed away.
shit.
99.
Yep. Didn't you get the reference? What they
No, Bob, the price is wrong.
Yeah.
Price is wrong. bitch.
He still managed to go as high as he could go without passing $1.
It's bad, but funny.
Wyndham Rotunda, which was Bray Wyatt, passed away. Terry Funk passed away. Bob Barker, Liz Gorton. The other person that we are not naming as of yet. So,
Yep. Because it's not even on his page.
Yeah, Joe Doug's friend. I mean,
Oh,
not today.
Joe
That was early in the week.
well, yeah, I mean, this was all within this last week.
Oh, it's going all over the place because apparently an hour ago, Bobby Nash posted it.
Okay, so that's 6. They say it goes in 3s. This time it's in multiples of 3. It's 6. It's done.
But Arlene Sorkin had one of my favorite. She was awesome as Harley Quinn. There is a scene that is my favorite from the original animated series with Kevin Conroy as Batman, where he's got her, he's walking with her, and she's like, "Why are you being so nice to me?" And he's like, "Even I had a bad day once." And then she gets this look on her face. And then she grabs a hold of him and gives him the biggest smooch she can manage at the time. Anyway, it was a touching scene.
Yeah.
And of course, she had that perfect kind of Jersey accent for it.
Oh. One of the unfortunate parts about getting older is that you do wind up losing a lot of
Yeah.
public figures you are used to being part of your life.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, older.
Family, just acquaintances, people you've never met but wished you had had the chance to, because
Sinead O'Connor died?
Yeah,
yeah,
you didn't know that?
yeah,
Yeah, this hasn't been the greatest year for celebrities.
well, I mean,
I mean, Pee Wee died. I mean, this is this is not a
yeah,
good year.
no, it's not.
And the bad thing about it is a lot of the people that we grew up with are moving on. You know, Tony Bennett died.
Well, I just happened to over at the TV and Tina Turner's on there.
Yep.
Yep.
She passed this year. I'm
Yep.
like, what the? And I saw her kind of leaned over and went, damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of damn going on.
Yeah, Tina Turner got a in memoriam on Masked Singer.
Yeah. It's not been a good year.
Well,
And while he may not, and I'm still not mentioning his name because, like I said, I haven't seen it announced on his page. And while others may be like, "Oh man," you know, I
I was trying
understand
to
wanting to have people think well of the person and know about it, but you need to make sure that the people closest to them get word before they see somebody that they may not be friends with or know mention it.
it should be mentioned by a family or depending on who it is, like a publicist or their agent or whoever when it comes to celebrity
Or
or
wife,
well, family.
you know.
Treat Williams died?
Yep.
Yeah.
Car wreck. I think somebody hit him. Vehicular homicide.
Jeremy Renner survived. We got to go with find a positive.
Yep. It's been hell recovering for him, but he did survive. Thank God. Yeah.
Holy cow.
yeah, exactly. And it just gets worse the older you get. It's like they come faster and faster and faster. Is somebody born in the 1950s? It's been just one after another, after another, after another, after another. And you've got to remember why you were fans of them and hold on to that and wish them and their family all the love and respect and care that you can as
Yeah.
just this person that appreciated their work. You know, not anybody connected, but you know, for so long, these folks were part of your lives.
And then there's somewhere out there that there's got to be a sense of humor because I look up and the next person playing, if I have it on MTV Plus. Guess who's on now? Guess which singer is now video whose video is playing now?
Tony Bennett.
And I said somebody's got to have a sense of humor out there.
Tina Turner.
Apparently just done. Guess what I'm being right now? Singer from the 80s. I'm being rickrolled right now.
Lisa Marie died? Holy shit.
Yeah,
Who?
Lisa Murray.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought she.
That's why I said somebody out there has got to have a sense of humor because I'm being rickrolled.
Oh,
Rick Astley. Yeah.
Like, you met the
Joe Dog probably just said, please, somebody get Rick rolled tonight before he went to bed.
That's why I said something's got to have a sense of humor with everything.
And you were chosen.
Yeah, I am the chosen one. Why not?
well, earlier tonight with your camera trouble, you were definitely the golden child.
Yeah, that wasn't me either.
Well, I hate to do this to you guys. My back is bugging me.
Hey,
It was fun
that's
going to that
fine.
rock show. It was fun going to that rock show, but when slow walking like that really irritates it. Yeah, it's been bothering me. But I still want to look at the fucking last man standing.
It's all right.
Yeah.
There'll be another time.
And there'll be
You know,
another time.
this
The what?
show's kind of taken a sad turn, if you will.
It's become a little
Well, I
melancholy.
mean, yeah, we keep learning about the dearly departed here.
Yeah.
Then somebody got rickrolled.
Yeah, well, that's kind of sad too.
Uh-oh, where'd Dad go?
Good morning, Mike Jimmy.
Yeah, positive. It was very positive.
Yep, that is
Very
very
positive.
positive.
We needed that.
Yes, indeed.
Dan's got his too, but he's not opening it because he wants me to be there with him. Oh,
Yeah, well, I mean,
I think that's awesome.
I think it's
yeah, my copy showed up today too. I haven't opened it yet because I wanted my wife to see it.
Awesome. I'm really glad they all arrived safely. Most of yours actually have the personal sketch personalized. And yeah, it took a little longer because they were going through critical blast, but I'm glad they all arrived safely.
there's a good guy. He got everybody.
Yeah, I was,
That I'm gonna. That you just pop in and I'm leaving, but my back has been bothering me. So, making you guys laugh because it's been kind of a melancholy night. So I do something to make them giggle.
I tried.
Good night.
Good night, Dawn.
No,
Feel better.
Okay.
I will try.
Got home from working on trying to clean out Dad's house some more, and my dogs were stung by yellow jackets really badly.
No.
Um, so we kind of called it short and headed home. And started walking out the door, and I'm like, "The hell package? I wasn't expecting a package." And then I pick it up. I see Critical Blast. I'm like, "Oh no, I was expecting a package." So as soon as I saw Critical Blast, I'm like, "I know what this is."
I'm really glad. Yeah, like, how does it feel in real life? Because man, that cover feels good.
Oh yes,
Oh,
It's proper
Sweet.
linen. It's
Yes.
so good.
that is just an awesome tactile feel.
No, I tried to go the full mile, and I think I succeeded.
Oh, without a doubt, you succeeded. T-
Of course, he succeeded. He's Mike Jimmy.
No, it's not that easy.
Didn't say it
But
was easy, just that you were capable of doing it.
oh, Thomas, can you do
It's called hard work for a reason.
it? Well, okay. Relatively, this book was easier because the only thing that was a pain in the ass was the cover itself.
Mm-hmm.
The rest was just putting all the issues together in one big book. But yeah, of the hardcover, I think I made 3 separate proof copies just to get it
Mhm.
right because hardcovers are a pain to get right.
Tell me about it.
Oh god. Well, we had a pretty rough night, so Luce is back in bed. She's been having very bad stomach pains. Um,
Well, expecting a baby does kind of do that to you.
yeah, well, liver problems aren't supposed to be a part of that, and they're not in
Ooh,
the.
no, that's a complication right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
so it's um, she went through everything. She got all kinds of tests, and they can't find anything. So she's just in a lot of pain. And here's paracetamol, and good luck, have fun.
so, how far along is she?
26 weeks.
Not too many left to go.
No, 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 no. At least 11, probably 14. But I got another positive thing. Oh. AutoCAD.
Oh, I actually like playing with that.
Yeah,
It
well, I'm
wasn't
glad.
easy to set up, but
No, it's pretty easy nowadays. And I got used to the program like Snap. Um, but it's a beginner course because this is my first contact with it. But it does for me make for very fun jobs. And it's another digital art thing, so why not, right?
yeah, it's a good tool to have in the toolbox.
So, um, because we're renovating the apartment, um, the um, course that we had to follow was doing all the
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Gesundheit,
Gesundheit.
was working out the entire apartment, so measuring it and figuring it out and putting that into AutoCAD. So that's what I did.
I had one several computers ago that was a very intuitive um, home design program.
Hmm.
Basically, architectural drafting, but it was geared more towards if you could supply the square footage, the elevation, and decide a few things about whether it's 23-inch studs or 15-inch studs
Hmm.
for the walls and whatnot. You go through there, and it would tell you, okay, here's where your plumbing needs to be. Here's
Yeah.
where your wiring needs to be. This is the standard for the area you inputted in your address. This should be legal for you to get a permit for. And you print out a blueprint,
Oh,
and
that's nice.
it would tell you how many 2x4s you needed to buy for the framing, and how many feet of wire you needed, how many switches, uh, how much plumbing you needed to buy,
Hmm.
and all this. And I'm just going, hey, this is great, but it was for a Windows system pre XP.
Probably ME 2000 or 98.
No, even earlier.
95 or 3.11.
Yeah.
ME came out after XP.
Well, this thing wouldn't install
Really?
on anything.
Huh.
This thing would not install on any Windows system past 95.
Ah,
ME was between XP and Vista.
huh. Because it always struck me as.
Yeah, it wouldn't even
yeah.
work on 98. It
Then
would
again,
work on 95. It wouldn't work on 98. And I'm going, damn it. And apparently, company went out of business, so I can't get an update. But it was a wonderful program for how old it was. It did
you
an
might be
awful
able to
lot.
find books, actually. You might be able to find a version of it.
I'd have to go through the files back there and see exactly which one it was, because I had like a dozen different landscape architecture and general interior decorating programs, and then I had this one that was deluxe. And I just fell in love with it. But I'm going, hey, if they had this one back when I was in college, I probably wouldn't have failed my drafting classes. So
If you can
interior design, yeah.
find the application, I can probably find you on 95 emulator.
I was gonna say, like, that is not that hard nowadays.
Well, I tried actually telling Windows to use an emulator, and it still wouldn't install. So that was back in the day, dozens of computers ago.
Yeah, nowadays it's a little easier. Technology improved. We evolved.
Tell me about it. As I'm trying to get my streaming computer to not go to 11. Usually I don't have problems cranking stuff up to 11, but no, I don't want the streaming computer cranked to 11. Thank you. Stuff may not work anymore.
That is true.
Especially the cheap shit.
Speaking of which, I'm starting to have troubles with this one as well. Yeah. Then again, I'm cranking this thing up to 11. Well, way too many times.
Yeah, if the applications work on 7, more than likely they'll still work on 11.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, 11 is 10 with just a slightly fancier look. And if you do not want your Windows machine, your taskbar to look like a Macintosh, there is a way to right-click down there, choose settings, and set it back so that it's on the left-hand side again.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm still running 10, and I like 10. It's okay. I miss 7.
Yeah, 7 was my
I'm
favorite.
used to it. I'm used to it.
10
was
Seven
really-
and XP were probably my two favorites.
Yeah, I really
10
miss
is
XP
basically
because
7, just prettier.
Yeah, exactly.
there were a lot of programs that ran on XP that would not run
Mm-hmm.
or were updated to be prettier and less useful after XP. And I'm going, yeah, they work fast, they run faster than it, but I
No.
miss
Vista
being able
sucked.
to the utility of doing this, and this that you can't do no more.
Mm-hmm.
Vista sucked.
Looking at you, Microsoft Suite, because I loved the way back when, just the little taskbar, and then they came with the ribbons, and I'm like, I can't find shit. Please.
Yep.
So
And that reminds me, I have not written a piece of music in a long time here. So I'm starting up my music maker program and looking for updates because
Ooh.
I know that it's been at least a year since the last time I opened this program. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be thrown in here, and it's going to ask me to update to the latest and greatest. And I'm going,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, save 79% on the 2024 premium version. And yes,
Yeah.
I can afford it, but I don't really want to do that right now. But let's just see.
which runs that from now to the end of the year. So
Oh Lord. Oh Lord, yes, I want every one of these free updates.
It's a loose.
hey, Luce,
Good morning, Luce.
hope you're feeling better.
Oh.
Thank you for hopping in and watching us.
Well, she's like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to this time? I'm like, it's a Sunday morning. I'm at Last Man Standing. What are you talking about? You knew this. Can I have the link? Yes. Here you go. WhatsApp. Click. No, I had a wonderful weekend. So I got spoiled for my birthday with painting supplies and paint and wallpaper.
Awesome.
Oh, that's right. Merry Birthmas.
Yes, exactly. Somewhere. Apparently, I'm 30 now. I don't know. I don't feel I feel one day older than 29.
Is that all?
Mm-hmm.
I have children older than you. That's right. Your birthday was
I'm not sorry.
Friday, right?
Yeah, 25th.
It's the same day as my mother-in-law's.
Ah. Congrats. No, it's I've celebrated it yesterday with my nephew and my brother-in-law, because my brother-in-law his birthday is the 11th. My nephew's at the 23rd, and my sister and I went, you know what? I've been putting aside his birthday for 7 years now. how about we just combine them? She's like, yeah, let's do that. So we just combined all the birthdays, and I got spoiled. And I went all grown up on my presents and was like, I just want stuff to fix the house. Because making a baby room is expensive, and refurbishing an entire apartment is also expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, yes, of course it is.
So the living room is exploded. And again, on Friday morning, my dad, mother-in-law, well, stepmom actually, and and Luz, took out a bunch of stuff from here, from the living room as well. So we got rid of some furniture. It's been a busy weekend, but yeah, it's starting to get together and it's starting to look like something. The studio is going to look a lot more empty in the coming week, I'm afraid, because this is all going to move to the living room as well.
Yeah, well, a little bit more room to play in. Never a bad thing.
Well, yeah. Well, the studio is going to go back. Well, part of the studio is going to go back to the living room because we're going to have to work in there. Then we're going to make this the bedroom, main bedroom. The small bedroom is going to be the kid room, and Luz and I both work at home as well. So we need some workspace and we need some relaxing space. The apartment is only so big.
Yeah.
It's
Sadly, it's worse.
Yeah, no, she has not had she has not had a good night.
Well, this is all part of the experience.
Yes, and you're a trooper for going through it.
Yeah, no, it's running in the extreme, so it's really tough on her. But yeah, it's all we can do. I mean, on the positive side, the baby is okay. That's one of the few things that it's yeah. What's the matter tonight,
take
guys?
very much time at all. Oh, we've been very slow tonight for all kind of things.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, we were having the celebrity deaths in review for the year so far.
Yeah, it's not been a good year for lots and lots of favorites have gone behind the curtain.
No, it's been another bad year. I mean, we've lost a lot of good celebrities over the past couple of years, and this year is not that different.
But that's going to happen because how are the preparations for Hallowcon going? They're going pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
We've got some guests. One of them that was supposed to be coming it's up in the air where they're going to be able to make it because their vehicle was hit by a drunk driver.
Oh no.
Hallowcon.
Hmm.
And he's having some difficulty locating parts to repair it.
Hmm.
Other than that, the guests are still on schedule to be there. Pre-regs are a little bit slower than we'd like at the moment, but for some reason they like to wait till the last month and a half to do it.
I don't see why. I really don't.
Well,
I mean,
No.
a lot
you
of them
know how-
probably seeing how much money they have left after they've blown most of it at Dragon Con.
Okay,
That'll be the trick. Yeah.
that's the part that lets me out because Dragon Con's just entirely too big.
Oh,
I cannot
it's ridiculous.
go to a con where the attendees number more than the average city.
Good for the
Yeah.
world, though.
The if you're not familiar with Dragon Con, Mike, Jimmy, and those, there are 5 host hotels,
Oh shit.
huge host hotels, major hotels in downtown Atlanta.
The population of the city rises by about 50 to 80,000 people for that weekend.
Yeah,
At
looking
least.
at Google, attendance is 80,000, more than 80,000 in
Yep.
2017.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for one convention.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now imagine
It's one
trying
of
to
the
get
biggest.
to a panel.
Yeah, like we have festivals that go for like 50K,
Mhm.
but we're talking a festival. We're not talking a closed space. Like the Dutch Comic Con hits 45,000 as well, I think,
Mhm.
and that is literally our biggest one. Like
Yeah.
they cannot grow any bigger.
But the menu has more or less been decided on, and those who were able to make it this year are in for a treat.
Good.
Megan has assured me she's going to outdo herself from previous years.
Oh, she's on a mission this year. I did not even ask for it. She just like, I'm gonna make this better.
That is
And I'm
awesome.
like, better? Is that possible? So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. The programming schedule's starting to come together. Still waiting to see that there will be 2 more staff meetings and then the event. So we just had one weekend ago, and like I said, things are starting to come together quite nicely, which it needs to because it's not too far away. But thank you again for asking. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to be there next year. With or without the real one.
You do what you need to do. You take care of home and family first. If you can come here, great. That's wonderful. We'll do our best to give you the most enjoyable experience we can give you. But you know,
Chris, check the private chat, please.
okay.
And really, Hallowcon is one of those things it's just so much fun. And it's small, it's intimate, it's just... I've been there twice now, and it's an awful lot of fun.
No, I was so looking forward to being there this year.
Hey,
listen,
you know,
You got a gift.
Yeah,
An unexpected one, but a pleasant one.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But like,
yeah, and seriously, you got to take care of business, and then you can cross the pond.
yeah,
Yep.
no, and we're gonna do our best because we both want to be there very badly. And yes, my arm is itchy because it's healing, and this stuff is awful. But yeah, no, like I loved San Diego. I'm more looking forward to this one, to
Mhm.
seeing you guys in the flesh for once, because yeah, like we've been talking for like 2-3 years now. I mean, let's be honest here. It's gonna be good to actually meet friends.
Yeah.
Well, I warn you,
Definitely.
I'm shorter than I look on camera.
I'm taller than I look on camera. That says something.
Oh, that was the running joke. The first year I showed up, I met John, and I go, "Damn, I thought you'd be taller," because John is this big, imposing presence on screen, and he's shorter than I am. Um, now, Rich, I don't have to worry about being shorter than a. If you're smaller than Paul Bunyan, I'll be surprised. Um,
Yeah, Rich and I are pretty much eye level.
Yeah, I'm still hoping a miracle will happen and Rich will be able to come this year.
that would be nice. as well.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully one more weekend, and we'll be ready to list the house, and hopefully it sells pretty quick. We can get the estate wrapped up and rolled out.
Well, with the good news I got this past week, I'm hoping that Three Ravens will have me some copies of the new version of
Yeah.
Mare and Ephraim to peddle at the table, so it's not just Lindsay selling clothes this year. I'll actually have a couple of books I can sell.
That would be nice.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially the way the editing went. I don't think we inserted any new typos. I think it's going to be typo free. Now, watch this space. Stuff
I was
always
gonna
happens.
say, hold on.
Hey,
As they put it out, and they've misspelled your name now. Son of a.
hey, collector's edition.
Exactly.
Oh.
No. Make it something special.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine, Pat Elrod. She writes the Vampire Files. Very, very good noir sort of vampire private detective. And they put out a copy of one of her one of her books, and they misspelled her name on the cover. So it was P.N. Elrond. And she was complaining about it. And I go, honey, I got to have me one of these. These are going to be worth money one day.
Exactly.
I got her to autograph it before she mailed it. And she's got severe arthritis. So that was, only close friends get that nowadays. But back then, it was less of a struggle. So I've got one. When I opened the envelope, I made sure that the book stayed in a plastic bag taped down so no air can get to it. And it's just one of those things where I go, I've got to have this. I have just got to have this, Pat. I'm sorry. Now, Pat's one of the writers that actually has put my wife and myself in as characters in a novel. Wasn't in the vampire series books.
She's
It
got.
was in
So good.
it was in the Hanged Man, which is a on Her Majesty's psychic service, and hopefully she will be able to do sequels to that, because she had a whole series planned, but everything depends on her arthritis pain, because it hurts her to type now.
Mhm.
I
So
can
she is
imagine.
really pissed about that.
Hmm.
And a little lady from Texas being pissed, you do not want to get in the way.
Nope.
Anger concentrates the smaller they get.
Hmm. So
Yeah, I like
she's
her
hoping that.
vampire files and her
Yep.
Jonathan Barrett, Gentleman Vampire.
Yes. And they do overlap.
Yes.
So if you have not read any of those yet, I highly recommend them. Make sure you buy the new stuff that she is putting out, not any old copies that somebody else might be selling second or third hand. If you can, try and get the ebooks, because she gets paid for that.
Hmm.
Paperbacks and whatnot, more than likely, those are some collector that has a horde of stuff they're selling, and she does not get paid.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as nice as it would be to have the paperbacks in hand, make sure it's from her.
I've got a copy of her I Strahd. I just have never had a chance to sit down and read it. Not really
Uh,
much of a vampire story person. Of course, I prefer werewolves. Go figure.
Lowe's, I don't know that you just have to look up PN Elrod on Amazon.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
I don't have that right in front of me. I mean, I should, as much as I do to promote her work, just like I do Stephanie's, and for the same reason, because I love them.
Oh, here we are.
They are 1920s, 1930s era noir with vampires and gangsters, and
Hold on, I'll drop it in the private
some
chat.
of the gangsters are some of the good guys. So,
Yeah, and then the Jonathan Barrett is Revolutionary War era.
yep. And the one that she did with the fellow that was on Forever Night. She did a lot of co-writing with him.
Oh, dadgummit.
Oh, I Strahd actually is a series now, or at least a series of two.
Yeah, that was the one that. Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. Jarrett Wynn Davies. You're talking about the main character on Forever Night, right?
no, the other one. The one that everybody thought was the bad guy.
Nigel Bennett. He
That's
played
the
Lucius
one.
McCoy.
Yep. Nigel Bennett. She has written some stuff with him, and it's very, very good. I don't know what series those go in. I really don't. But they're
Nice.
Keeper of the King, Ethical Vampires, Book 1.
Ooh. I did not realize that Lisa Ryder was in that series as well. Y'all might better know her as Becca Valentine on Andromeda.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now, which link do we need to put in the chat for Lowe's?
Either the one I sent was just everything, and the one
Okay,
Rich put in
was
is
just the vampire files. Okay.
yeah,
I think it's just the
but
first book, the Vampire Files. Yeah.
yeah. No,
Well,
I threw it at her in WhatsApp as well. So
let's see if this will. Uh, okay. It'll probably come out 4 times, but
yeah, no,
it did.
Yep.
it does, but it goes through 4 different places, so you don't get it 4 times in one spot. It's okay.
Yep.
This is normal.
It just shows up in the chat because I've got ops.
Exactly.
Yeah, she since she's on YouTube, she might see the YouTube link first.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Well,
she's
I'll
just
go
going to
ahead.
see the YouTube link essentially.
I'll go ahead and put in just the Vampire Files link as well. I mean, we're already blowing up YouTube, so who cares? Yep, amazing writer, absolutely amazing writer. And she's dealing with a lot of health problems. She used to have a company where she made Jedi robes.
Huh.
And I was lucky enough to get her to make one for me before she had to stop because of the dust from the cloth and everything else.
Hmm.
And she turned over the license to that to somebody else that she was assured would keep the quality up to snuff.
And
And so
didn't.
far, she hadn't had a reason to complain.
Oh.
But and it's awesome. Even though I didn't get the brown or the white, I got the green one,
Hmm.
which was not a usual Jedi color. And
No.
I'm going, damn. I know I followed the directions, but I really probably should have not given you my real height and arm length because I'm always having to pull the sleeves up and I'm going, okay, I know what I need to do. I got
Safety
a belt.
pins.
Nope, I got a big old belt, and I'm going, okay. I'm going to have to put little pouches all around this thing, and I might even have to rebuild my original lightsaber prop that I built back when there was only one Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes.
And I took that thing to a Emerson, Lake and Palmer concert. And you know the part of a concert where everybody gets out their big lighters and
That's
starts
the
asking
encore.
for an encore, and I go with the lightsaber, and I was like 7th row back floor seats from the stage. I'm pretty sure Keith Emerson looked down and go,
Maybe he's too busy probably doing obscene things with his keyboards.
no, this was while they were going. Okay, we got to do another encore. Okay, what do we got left? Because
Yeah.
they had put on one hell of a show, and they did not have an opening act. It was just them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Carl Palmer never noticed me. I don't know if Greg Lake even noticed that he was on stage, but you know, he played, and he played really well. But Keith, I'm sure he. Okay, that's weird.
Well,
I think they did come out and they did the song "Brain Salad Surgery," if I remember correctly. It's been 40 years, but I don't know. All I know is I really had a great time, and I want to thank the people that got me the concert tickets.
yeah.
Because
Well,
I was not one of those folks that would be willing to stand in line or be on the phone. These are pre-internet days to get concert tickets for all. I got I got gifted a lot of really good concerts through knowing some folks that were just absolutely wonderful and thought that I would enjoy. Um, uh, Donovan opening for Yes.
oh wow.
Um, I believe I actually searched out myself and got tickets to ELO in the round. I don't know who their opening act was. I could not tell. Um, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, this is they've actually built the flying saucer in the middle of the Omni. This is fine. This is fun." Um,
Yeah, the best concerts are where the act can be the act.
mhm.
Where they can go all out. Because
Yeah.
One of the best concerts I went to was at Wild Adventures in Valdosta, Georgia. It's a theme park slash zoo slash concert venue, all in one. And I got to hear Journey play for 3 hours.
There was one from high school. They allowed different high schools in the area to vote on who they wanted, and the concert was at Six Flags Over Georgia.
Southern Star Amphitheater.
We got there, and it was Chuck Berry,
Oh wow.
and I was within about 10 feet of the stage for Chuck Berry,
Mm.
and he played everything he could play, and then asked for permission to do my ding-a-ling.
As he told someone one time, he said, I don't write the songs, I just perform them.
Somebody wrote this one. That was incredible. I mean, I got to see exactly which strings his fingers were on, and I still couldn't do it myself. I wish I could. Make my life a whole lot easier if I could imitate Chuck Berry, but no, I ain't got that skill. Um, Lord, who else? Let's
Well, you know, I
see.
told you the link that Keith Emerson had to Lemmy, didn't I?
You did, but I've forgotten. Please tell it again.
Lemmy had noticed that Keith Emerson had started using knives to have the sustain last longer on the keys that he used. Well, Lemmy presented him with a really good set of very sharp knives. He said, if you're going to do that, you need some better knives. So here you go.
That sounds like Lemmy. Here's the good stuff.
You call that a knife? This
Well,
is a knife.
Keith Emerson would do what some would consider obscene things with his keyboards.
Did you see the post of his performance moog that was on Facebook here this week?
No, I missed that.
It's
I would love to have seen it because I know he had where it would rock. One of his.
oh he would stand it up on a corner and spin it around, during brain salad surgery. But
I mean,
and
I heard he used to give pelvic thrust into it like he was making love to it or having sex with it.
that was I'm just sitting there I'm going, I know every note of this album. That ain't on it.
Well, that's one of the things about live performances. Sometimes I get so tired of playing the same notes over
Oh
and over.
yeah.
yeah.
They'll improv an entire new section of stuff that you know note for note because you've worn out 2 copies of the vinyl.
Yeah.
Lord, there's the other people that I've seen. I can't even remember nowadays. I mean, this was back in the 70s.
Well, I know you
It's been a
remember
long time.
telling me that Sammy Hagar really blew you away. With
Oh
this
yeah, Boston and Sammy Hagar in a basketball arena.
Stegman Coliseum.
That's the one.
Yep.
And Boston came on, and they were just note for note. Everything was absolutely perfect by the album. Sammy Hagar came out and said, "Hold my beer and watch this." I had heard of Sammy Hagar, but this was before he joined Van Halen.
Yeah.
I mean,
His solo stuff's quite good.
I had heard his solo stuff before, and I heard so much more than I had ever seen on MTV or anything like that. I'm going, this guy actually knows which end of a guitar to hold on to.
And he was actually started out in Montrose.
Okay.
Get on Your Bad Motor Scooter and Ride was one of his signature songs with them. Oh, Foo Fighters are good. I don't care for the band Nirvana, but I love Foo Fighters.
There are a lot of bands that I missed seeing. Oh, Adamant and the Romantics.
Oh, that would have been a good show.
In the Atlanta Civic Center, which is about the size of a Matchbox car.
Believe it or not, it had a seating capacity of around 7,000.
Well, there were 6,099 teenage girls in there, and I was the oldest one in the audience that wasn't on stage.
Now, the funny thing is, eventually they started expanding Sidetrack because it was in the same building. Science and Technology Museum of Atlanta. I don't even think they do concerts in the Civic Center anymore. I think it's all Sidetrack now.
I was actually amazed that the Romantics put on a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew Adamant was going to put on a really good show.
Oh, yeah.
But if you think watching the Adamant video on MTV is anything like the concerts, you got another thing coming. They put out some energy. Everybody in the band put out just megawatts of energy.
That's good.
And every one of those little teenage girls knew every word of every song, and they were really looking at me going, yeah, I know every word too. Yeah. I mean, I even knew the things from the earlier albums like Dirk Wears White Socks. So there's a whip in my valise. Yes. I do have my fandoms.
We're nerds. We have quite a few.
And the weird thing is that Adamant and I share a birthday,
Yeah.
same
Oh.
as Godzilla. Just separated by a few years. I think
Details.
I think Godzilla is about 1 year older than me, and Adamant is like 3 years older than me.
Mm.
So
Adamant's 3 years older than you?
yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm not a rock star, so I don't have to. I'm in a little bit better condition.
Good a bit.
Yeah, I suppose the mileage is considerably more with him.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
the old saying, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
yeah, exactly. And hey, Godzilla makes us both look old, so
Dan, we have made it past 3 o'clock.
oh, we
And the way
have.
I was yawning earlier, I was afraid I wasn't going to.
Damn it! Now we gotta. Now we gotta close the show. Yep, I'm sorry about that, but you know,
It'll be all right.
needs
We'll be here
must.
next week.
I certainly hope so.
Yep.
And we'll pick up here and go on. In any case, thank y'all for being here.
Yep.
Thank anybody that's been watching the entire time. Thank anybody that's watching us tomorrow, Carl. And
Just the one guy.
hey, well,
It's true though.
it's not
We
like
love
I'm
you,
gonna.
Carl.
It's not like I'm gonna get monetized anytime within my lifetime. People are going to discover this stuff.
We know
posthumously.
that one in particular is going to be watching.
It's either that or go out and mow the yard, and it's too hot to mow the yard. So,
I still managed to do some of it earlier.
I've got to go out to the well house and take a photograph of the dodgy plumbing that I did 20 years ago or longer than that. It's got to be redone. Stuff is wearing out. The water shut-off valves no longer work, so I'm going to have to redo that.
Uh-oh.
And it's just a matter of taking the roof off the thing and being able to reach in there with some monkey wrenches and go, "You coming with me?"
Yeah. Good luck with that, by the way.
I'll just get wet. It's not like I don't already have the flu. Seriously. But thank everybody that contributed, and thank everybody that's watched, and thank everybody that will watch. Narrowboat Liberty Crew, thank you for subscribing, even though I'm pretty sure you realize that was a bad decision, but I thank you for doing it.
Go good, guys.
Go good, guys. And let's just say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, ladies.
Good night.
See y'all in flip-flop.
Transmission overload. System will shut down. will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.